Okay, good evening all. Good evening. You are welcome to Tutorials with From Eternity the Schoolboy. Today we are going to take a look at English language, use of English, and want to go into the topic clauses and what? Phrases. So have you come across the word clause before? So what comes to your mind whenever you heard the word clause? What comes to your mind? What's your name? Festus. Good. So what comes to your mind when you heard the word clause? Just feel free, sit down.
Clause
is what? Is what? Combination of what? Two sentences. You? Any idea? Are you serious? Are you really serious? Did they teach you clause in your school? So what happened? It's a fulia. But it's okay. That's why you are here. That's why you are here. You know, this is part of grammar. You know, in our first sentence, center one, we are talking about the parts of speech, now, and you know them now. So here now, it's not the same topic we treat there that will do what we treat here. We do it such a way that anywhere you are, you will not miss out. If you want to focus on this place, you will not miss out. But if you're able to combine two of them, you will be able to cover a lot of topics within what? Within space, small space of what? Time. Now, what is a clause? What is a clause? You know, when you combine words, words are the building block of a sentence, true of us. When you combine words, you form a sentence, right? But these words you combine, there are some you combine, they'll just be a clause. There are some you combine, they'll just be a what? A phrase. Am I communicating? Now, at the end of this class, you'll be able to identify. There are some questions you see in word past question. Maybe they will make a sentence, underline some part of it, and ask you what grammatical what expression or what is this. Now, if it is a clause, you write. Then the type of clause it is. If it's a phrase, you do what? You write and talk about the type of phrase that particular word underline part of the sentence is. Now, what is a clause? What is a clause? Now, a clause is a group of words. A clause is a group of words containing a subject and a what? A predicate. A clause is a group of words containing a subject and a what? A predicate. What is a predicate? If you make a sentence, let me say Obi is a boy. Or let me say Izuchukwu slapped Festus. Slap, is it double P or single P? Slapped Festus. Look at this now. Look at this sentence now. Izuchukwu is the subject, right? Izuchukwu is what? Subject, but Izuchukwu is the one that performed the word action. Then slapped is what the action performed, even though it's in past tense. While Festus is the what? The object. Now from here, this is what? Subject. This is what? Subject. From here to this place is called the what? Pretty what? Case. Am I completing? Here now, the object, the predicate now contain the what? The verb and the what? And the what? Object. Are we together? Have you come across the term predicate before? Have you? Now, so now he said that that a clause is a group of words containing a subject and a what? A predicate. It's a group of words containing a subject and a what? A predicate. Now there are two major kind or types of clauses. We have the main clause. We have the what? Main clause. Then we have the what? Subordinate what? Subordinate what? Clause. Is that why I call it main clause or I call it what? Independent. Independent clause, or this one, either I call it subordinate or I call it what? Dependent what? Clause. So we have main clause and what? Subordinate. You're writing. Why are you writing? And you get quiet. First, why are you writing? Your pen is also not writing. Please, my pattern of teaching is this. As I'm teaching, please be putting down something. Okay? I may just dictate some. I don't dictate notes like that, but I may just be, as I'm teaching, please be noting down something. Don't just fold your arms. Then if there's need for me to dictate something, I can dictate, okay? But that is not the major thing I do. I teach. So as I talk, you do what? You do what? Keep putting down something, okay? Here now, I define the term clause. I say that a clause is a group of what? Words that contain what? Contains what? A subject and a what? A predicate. And I explain what a subject is and what a predicate what is. I also talked about an object and what the object what is. Are we together? Now, I now talked about the two types of what is it called? Clause. Two main types of clauses. Am I complicating? I talked about main clause and what? Subordinate what? Clause. Another name for main clause is independent clause. While another name for what? Subordinate clause is what? Independent what? Clause. Now, what is the difference between dependent clause and independent clause? The main clause or the dependent clause or independent clause, the main clause or independent clause can stand by itself. It can stand by itself and make sense. If you see an independent clause, it can stand on its. You can write it. It can stand on itself and convey the full meaning. Make as if it may not just the main thing that it will make sense. If I write a dependent clause here, it will make sense to you. Are we together? But independent clause cannot stand on its own. Independent clause or subordinate clause, from the name independence. Sorry, I mean dependent clause. Sorry, not independent. Dependent clause or subordinate clause cannot stand on its own. It needs the main clause in order to do what? Make sense. It needs the main clause in order to do what? Make sense. Subordinate clause cannot stand on its own. It needs the main clause in order to do what? Make sense. If there is no main clause, if I just write an independent clause here for you, you won't understand anything there. It will make sense. It needs an independent clause to do what? Make sense. Okay, now our reference book for today is Catch Up English Language for SSC and UME by C. Ukwebu et al. That's our reference book for today. Now, I want to give some examples. To explain what I mean by the fact that main clause can make sense on its own. That's why it is called independent. Why dependent clause cannot make sense on its own. That's why it's called what? Dependent what? Clause. Now, take a look at this sentence. You can put it down. You can put it down. Put this down. Come into the room. Come into the room if it starts raining. Come into the room if it starts raining. Come into the room if it starts raining. Come into the what? Room if it starts raining. Now look at this sentence now. This is a sentence, right? Right? Look at this sentence now. If come into the room, if it starts, this is removes. If it starts raining, I can divide this sentence now into two. One part is what? Main clause. The other part is what? Subordinate clause. Remember I said that the main clause makes sense on its own, right? But the subordinate clause doesn't make sense. Now, take a look at it. Let me split it from here. Come into the room. Does it make sense? Come into the room. Does it make sense? Okay. If it starts raining, does it make sense? If it starts, it will be there. What's it talking about? Has it gone mad? If it starts raining, how? Next week will be like, what? You be confused. If I just come here and said, if it starts raining, have you seen it now? So this is why I said that this is what? Dependent what? Clause. It doesn't make sense. If it starts raining, it doesn't make what? Sense. But come to the room makes what? Sense. Even though it's not it's somehow, you may say, if you don't know what you're talking about, of course, before I can say come into the room, you would have know exactly why you are coming to the room. Hope you know. But it still makes sense. But this one doesn't make sense at all. This one is what? The what? Subordinate what? Clause. Are we together? One is what? Main clause. Subordinate clause. What is main clause? Another one is, let me take some example from this book. It says, call the police at once if you notice anything suspicious. Call the police at once. Call the police at once if you notice anything what? Suspicious. Call the police at once if you notice anything suspicious. See, kind of suspicious there. Call the police what? At once if you notice anything what? Suspicious. Look at this sentence. Call the police at once. Does it make sense at all? Does it make sense at all? What if I say, if you notice something suspicious, I keep quiet. You confuse a bit, right? Yeah. So I don't understand what you're saying. That would be the first thing you ask me. If I just tell you, if you notice something suspicious, you're like, what is this talking about? All right. Now, Please, I want to know something. This must not, the subordinate clause must not always come after the what? Main clause. Subordinate clause may start the what? Sentence. Let me start with subordinate clause. I can simply say, if it starts raining, comma, do what? Come to the house. Does it make sense? I may start the sentence with the word subordinate clause. If it starts raining, comma, come into the word. Or let's look at the other sentence. If you notice anything suspicious, call the police at once. Is it clear? If you notice anything suspicious, comma, call the police at once. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? Good. Now this is what main clause and subordinate clause is all about. Now let's go down to types of subordinate clauses. Are we together? I want to talk about types of subordinate clause and their functions. Types and functions of what? Subordinate clause. That's what subordinate clause is. That's what we want to do what? Talk about now. Any question? Any question? Huh? Now, I want to say something here. I want to say something here. A word like noun is a word, right? Noun is a what? A word, right? Good. An adjective is a what? A word. Now, how do we know the types of clauses, subordinate clauses we have? Subordinate clauses take their name from the function of the word they act like. For example, now, subordinate clause that act like a noun. Hello? Subordinate clause that acts like a what? I say that subordinate clauses take the name of the noun they act like, as in they perform similar functions with. Am I communicating? Because you know that as a clause it's a group of words, but they can, the group of words that form the clause can be performing functions like parts of speech. There are a group of words or clause. There's a clause that may be acting like noun, performing the functions of what? Noun. If a clause performs the function of a noun, it is called a noun clause. Am I communicating? Now, a clause that performs the function similar to that of what? Adverb is called the name what? Adverbial clause. Now, the clause that perform a function similar to that of adjective is called a what? An adjectival clause. Am I communicating? Am I making sense? Now, even though we have not done in the other side, I think we are saying it now, but we should enter adjectives and other parts of speech. You appreciate this we are doing here now better. Am I communicating? So that is what these examples of these clauses we are talking about. Now let's take them one after the other. Let's take them one after the other. Let's start with adjectival clause. Let's start with what? Adjectival clause. Let's start. Get this thing for me fast. Okay. Put your full touch on. Okay, now let's look at adjectival what? Clause. Adjectival what? Clause. It also be called simply what? Adjective what? Is it okay? Adjective what? Clause or what? relative what? Clause. It can be called adjectival clause, adjective clause, or relative what? Clause. Now, one thing I want to talk about here is that, remember I said something, I mentioned something. I said that it performed when the clauses, they take their name from the words, the parts of speech they perform a function that's similar to. Now, for adjectival clause, now what do you think adjectival clause will be doing in a sentence? It performs the function of a what? An adjective, right? What are the functions of adjective? Number one, what? Pronoun. Sorry, adjective. Even though we have not done it, but let just, at least you did this in your primary school, right? JS1, SS1, right? So tell me, what are the functions of adjective? Let me see. Chinwaya. Fast. Number one, modify what? Sentence. Isu. Modify what? Now. Festus. Describe a sentence. Now, I think Isu got it. They modify what? A noun. Modify a noun, not only a noun, even pronoun. Okay? Even what? Pronoun. Am I communicating? Good. Now, a group of words that can perform this, are we together? Now, that can perform this and have subject and what? Predicates. That group of words is what? Adjectival what? Clause. Now let's go. So this is sometimes called what? Relative clause. I think I've mentioned it. So what do? They modify the what? Adjective. Sorry, noun. They modify a what? A noun. They also modify a what? A pronoun. They modify a noun or a what? Pronoun. You're writing Festus. Writing, okay? Good. I said adjectival clause. They are also called what? Relative what? Clause. They are also called what? Relative what? Clause. Adjectival clause are also called what? Is also called what? Relative what? Sit on the board. Relative what? Clause. So what does it do? It modifies a what? A noun. It modifies a what? A noun. Then it also modifies a what? A pronoun. Now, how do you know? How do you know that what can you see in the beginning of an independent clause? It will suggest to you that this may be adjectival clause. One or two things you may see at the beginning of an independent clause. Remember, these things you're talking about are what? Independent, not main clause. So hope you know. Not the main clause we are talking about now. We say we are talking about. Look at your book. What did you write? Types of what? That's what we're explaining. Okay. This is the independent one. So is the subordinate one that we are divided into, that perform this function of what? Either noun, pronoun, or what have you. Am I communicating? They talk more. They support. They talk more about what is said in the what? Main clause. Even main clause can stand on its own, but independent clause talk more of what is said in the what? In the what? Main clause. It's talk more about the what? The main clause. Am I communicating? Even though they cannot stay on their own, but when they come together with main clause, they talk more of what happened in the what? Main clause. If we say that an adjectival clause modifies a noun. The noun is modifying. It's not the noun in the subordinate clause. So it's in the what? It's in the what? In the what? Main clause. Like now, if you have, let me look for example now so I can explain this better. Okay, if you have If you have something like this, the boy okay, the boy that came this morning is my son. Look at this sentence. The boy that came this morning is my son. Who can tell me? Who can divide this into dependent and independent clause? Who can do that for us?
The boy that came this morning
Is my son. Which in this sentence, which one is dependent clause and which one is independent clause?
is my son. Is the dependent clause.
Dependent. So which of them? Which of them is the main clause? Is my son is main clause? Is it to Chishiwendo? Which of them? Look at this sentence now. Tell me which. Divide it into two. Tell me which part is the what main clause and which part is the subordinate clause.
My son.
My son is what?
Independent clause.
My son is dependent. Festus. Okay, you support what she said. Now listen, look at this sentence again. The boy that came this morning is my what? Son. The boy. I've read this into two now. The boy that came this morning. I told that the dependent clause may not actually be at the extreme. You can also appear in the middle. Know that point, okay? The boy. The main clause is what? The boy is my son. Does it make sense? It's shocking. Hey, English language is sweet. It shock you. The main clause here is what? The boy. Okay, bring up that came this morning from this sentence. What is the meaning? Say it again.
The boy is my son.
The boy is my son. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? Okay, that came this morning. Does it make sense? That came this morning. It doesn't make any sense. So note this thing down. Subordinate clause must not always appear. You know, I showed you I gave you two instances where the first instance that it appear in the beginning, right? Right? The second instance it appear towards the what? End, right? Now this one it appear where? In the what? Middle. Listen carefully. It can appear anywhere, but what you should note is this. There's what is called markers. Call them markers. Say it. Markers. Markers are what to help you to, or indicators. What to help you to know when, what helps you to, what introduces a particular word, subordinate word, clause. Am I communicating? We want to look at what introduces a particular word, subordinate clause. Something like this adjectival clauses. Adjectival clause. There are some words that introduce a word that once you see, your mind will go that this may be what, apart from the function on this in the sentence, there's some words you will see, it will take your mind to the fact that this may be what, adjectival what, clause. I want to list such words that you will see that introduces what, adjectival what, clause. Now put down something. So adjectival clause are often introduced by any of these words. Adjectival clause is often introduced by any of these words. Such words are that, T-H-A-T, that. Another one is who. Another one is whom. Another one is whose. Another one is what? Which. Another one is what? That. Are we together? That. Now, occasionally some words like why, when, and where can come in. Occasionally some words like why, when, and what, where can do what. Also introduce what, the adjectival what, clause. Now these words I listed now that introduces adjectival clause, they have a name. They are called. They are also called what? Relative what? Pronoun. They are called what? Relative pronouns. They are called what? Relative pronouns. Are we together? Good. Are we together? Let me give another example. Come and clean this boy for me fast. So let's look at classes of adjectival clause. There are two classes of two classes of adjectival clause. Remember, we are treating what? Adjectival what? Clause, right? There are two classes of adjectival clause. There's one we call, the first one is what? Restrictive. And it can also be called defining. And I call it restrictive, defining, or defining adjectival what? Clause. Okay, I said we have two classes of what? Adjectival what? Clause. We have the one we call restrictive or defining adjectival clause. Then we have the one we call non-restrictive or non-defining. Non-restrictive or what? Non-what? Defining what? Adjective. Non-restrictive or non-defining what? Adjective. Now let's look at non-restrictive adjective. Restrictive adjective, Let's look at what is restrictive adjective. Restrictive adjectival clause. Actually, what it means is that restrictive adjectival clause is the one that throw more light on the what? Meaning. It's necessary for what? Meaning. It throw more light on the what? Meaning. It is necessary for what? Meaning. I'll give you an example. Let's go back to that example I gave the other time. Let's go back to that example I gave the other time. But before I do that, I want to. There's something that's peculiar about this restrictive adjectival clause. I say that it does what? Throws more light on the word meaning, right? Meaning. That means it is necessary for what? Meaning. Now, but there's something about this. There's something about this restrictive adjectival clause. One thing about this restrictive adjectival clause is that it does not require what? Comma. You don't put what? Comma. It does not require what? Comma. It does not do what? Require what? Comma. Now, let me explain. Let me use that example. I said the example said what? The boy that did what? The boy.
That came this morning.
That came this what? Morning is what?
My son.
My what? Son. Look at my son. Look at this sentence. Look at this sentence. Look at this sentence. The boy that came this morning is my son. That came this morning is an adjectival clause. True or false? True or false? True or false? It modifies. What does it modify? Which noun does it modify? Boy, right? Good. It modifies what? Boy. Are we together? Now, why? Do you know why it's restrictive? It talks about the exact what? Boy in question. Am I communicating? It talks about the what? The exact what? Boy. It throws more meaning. It throws more light on the meaning, defining the particular boy we are doing what? Talking about. True of us that came this morning, as it's so specific, it defines the boy we are what? Talking about. You know that a boy is a common noun, right? Boy is what? A common noun. It's not a name for a particular person. True of us is a common noun, right? Now, but this one has made it particular boy. The speaker is what? Talking about. Am I communicating? So that came this morning talks about a particular what? Boy. It's not just modifying the boy. It talks about the particular boy. And in that case, you don't need comma. Under normal circumstances, you should have comma here, right? But because of that this is a defined, this is not restrictive. You don't need what? Comma to do what? Write it down. Am I communicating? Now, this answer the question. Which boy? The boy that came what? This what? Morning. Now, this is what we mean by what? Restrictive what? Adjectival what? Clause. So it answers the question, which boy? Is it clear? Good. Now, what of non-restrictive? Please put down this. Did you put down this now? Explain now. Did you put down this now? Explain now. Are you sure you did? I don't think you should put it down. You put it down, right? Restrictive, right? Now let's go over to what? Non-restrictive. Let's go over to what? Non-restrictive. Non-restrictive adjectival clause. You either call it non-restrictive or you call it what? Non-defining. So, unlike in restrictive, non-restrictive adjectival clause is not necessary for what? Meaning. Are we together? It's not what? Necessary for what? Meaning. It doesn't throw much light on the what? Meaning, are we together? Are we together? Good. Know why? Do you know why? Listen carefully. Listen carefully. Hello, are we together? Do you know why restrictive adverbial clause throw more light on the meaning, defining? Because the person you're talking to doesn't know the need to know the exact words. Boy is what talking about. Are we together? You may not know the boy, but he now take that came this morning, so you will know the boy is what talking about. Now let's go over to what non-restrictive. Look at this. Look at this. My students, Chinwendo. My students, or my former student, Chinwendo. It's okay. This is not writing well. My former what? Students, Chinwendo. Chinwendo, who was also a student of Iyenu, is now a pharmacist. My former student Chinwendo, who was also a student of Iyenu, is now a pharmacist. Look at this sentence. My former student Chinwendo, who was also a student of Iyenu, is now a pharmacist. Now let's start from which of these. Look at this sentence now. Tell me which. Look at this sentence now. Tell me the main clause and independent clause in this sentence. Tell me the main clause. You see you're talking about here. Claim it, say amen. Good. Now, look at this sentence. Tell me which this sentence now. Tell me the part that is the main clause and the part that is subordinate clause. Tell me fast. Tell us.
My former student Chinwendo is the main clause. Then who was also a student of Iyenu with the subordinate clause is now a pharmacist, main clause.
So we have two main clauses.
Yes.
And one subordinate clause.
Yes.
Tell me which this sentence now. First, this sentence now. My former student Chinwendo, who was also a student of Iyenu, is now a pharmacist. Tell me.
My former student is the main clause. Who was also a student of Iyenu.
Is what? Is what?
Is the subordinate clause.
Okay, your turn. Tell us. Which part of this sentence is the main clause, and which part of this sentence is the subordinate clause?
My former student is the main clause. My former student Chinwendo is the main clause. Who was also a student of Iyenu is the subordinate clause. is now a pharmacist is the main clause.
So none of you could answer this question. Wow. Okay, now look at it. Look at it again. Wait. Did you really understand what I explained about main clause and subordinate clause? Are you sure? Okay, now let's look at this thing again. Any idea? Any idea? Oh yeah, tell us.
Former student Chiwendu is now a pharmacist.
Is what?
Is now a pharmacist.
Is what?
Is the main clause.
Subordinate clause nko?
Who is also a student.
Who was?
Who was also a student of EN.
Now you talk. Now you talk. My former student Chiwendu is now a pharmacist. That's the main clause.
That's not what you said.
No, you said sis. You said I asked you. So there are two main clauses there. You said That was why I asked that question. So you mean there are two main clauses? You said The main clause there is what? My former student Chiwendu is now a pharmacist. Subordinate clause there is what? Who was also a student of what? Iyenu. Who was also a student of Iyenu is the subordinate clause. And what type of subordinate clause is this? What type of subordinate clause is this? Yes, I agree. It's adjectival word clause. Why is it adjectival clause? What does it modify? Chiwendu, right? Good. I agree with you. Now, but there's something you need to know about this. It's not just an adjectival clause. It's a non-restrictive word. Adjectival clause. If you watch, there's a comma there, right? Right? Do you know why it's a non-restrictive? It acts as a non-restrictive adjectival clause. Look at my former student Chiwendu. You only know the Chiwendu she is what? Talking about. Two of us, we only know the Chiwendu. He's not trying to define the word Chiwendu again. He's just adding on top of what we already know. The Chiwendu is what? Talking about. Does it make sense? Unlike the first sentence, the boy that one is defining the boy, but this one is not defining Chiwendu again. We only know the Chiwendu she was. The speaker is what? Or the writer is what? Talking about. So that thing, this who was also a student of Yen is just there to give additional information about who? Chiwendu. So it's acting as a non-restrictive word, adjectival word clause, because just giving, it's not defining Chiwendu again. Chiwendu has already been defined by former students. Am I completing? This one, this who was also a student of year, it just provides additional word information about what? Chiwendu. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? So it's not necessarily there to identify Chiwendu again. It's just giving an additional information about what? Chiwendu. Okay, let's continue. Are you sure there's no question? Between the faces. Okay. Are we clear on this? Now look at how we accept question on what is it called? On clauses, okay? And now look at how the question normally comes. Put this thing down, this sentence down. The soldier who knew the area best, the soldier who knew the area best led the search. The soldier who knew the area best led the search. The soldier who knew the area best led the search. Now the question is, this is how you see the question in WAEC. They may underline this, who knew this area best. And the question goes like this. The question as follows. Number one. The questions are under it. Number one. What grammatical name is given to the underlined expression? What grammatical name is given to the underlined expression? Number two. What is its function? What is its function as it is used in the sentence? What is its function as it is used in the sentence? What is its function as it is used in the sentence? Israel, answer the question. Answer the question first. So first of all, tell us the grammatical name of the words we underlined. Then after that, you tell us the sentence as it is used, the function is performing in that sentence. Number one is what? What's the answer? Louder.
The grammatical function.
No, say it. Talk about the name first before you go to function.
The grammatical name
Is what?
adjectival clause.
What?
Adjectival clause.
Adjectival clause. Okay, I agree. What type of adjectival clause? What class? Restrictive, right? I agree with you. Why do you say it's restrictive adjectival clause?
It describes a soldier that led the search.
So the soldier there is a common noun, is not a proper noun, right? So we don't even know the particular soldier he's talking about. So you talk about the particular soldier that led the what? Search. Is it clear now? Good. So what is the function in the sentence?
Functions
As what? Chinwe, what is the function in that sentence? What is the function in that sentence? The function in that sentence. What is we know it's adjectival clause, which Izu has answered it. Yes, I believe I accepted. I agree with him. Now, what is the function of what is its function in that sentence? Fast. No idea.
Talking about the soldier.
First is what is the function in that sentence? It modifies what? Perfect. It modifies what? The soldier. Hello, out together? Yes. It modifies what? The noun soldier. Include the part of PC modified, okay? It modifies the noun soldier. I agree with you. If you see a question, those that are writing work, if you see a question like this now, hope you can answer it in your work English exam, right? Right, Festus? You can answer it, right? Izunko, you write work in next year, right? For this year. All right. So, okay. Now, let's look at adverbial clause or adverb clause. Anyone call it, it's okay. Adverbial clause or adverb clause. Adverbial clause or adverb clause. So what is, put down this. Okay, an adverbial clause is a group of what? Words, or simply is a clause that modifies the verb, an adjective, another adverb, or even the rest of the sentence in which it occurs. Adverbial clause is a subordinate clause. Good, I like that. It's a subordinate clause. Adverbial clause is a subordinate clause that modifies the verb, an adjective, another verb, another adverb, or the rest of the sentence in which it occurs. So what does this say? What does this tell us? That an adverb modifies a what? A verb. It also modifies an adjective, right? It also modifies another adverb. So adverb can modify another adverb. So because adverb can modify another adverb, that means adverbial clause can also modify another what? Adverb. Am I communicating? It can even modify the rest of the what? Sentence where it occurs. So just as we discussed some words you can use to introduce adjectival clause, there are also some words you can use to introduce what? Introduce what? Adverbial clause. What did we call the words? The words that used to introduce adjectival clause. What do you call them? Relative what? Pronoun. Now, in adverbial clause, there are some words that we use to what? Introduce adverbial clause. And these words are known as what? Subordinate what? Conjunction. Subordinating what? Conjunction. So adverbial clause is introduced by using what? Range of subordinating what? Conjunction. Subordinating conjunction. See it here. Subordinating what? Conjunctions. Don't worry, we will still do conjunctions as a part of speech. By that time, if we do it, you appreciate it better. Subordinating conjunction. Examples of such words are if, when, whether, WHETHER, whether. Not whether as in climate, whether as in whether you are doing something. Am I communicating? Whether you are doing this or doing that. Okay. Then unless is also there. Unless after, after, wherever, wherever, while, while, although, although, because, because, as, before, before, since, and so on. So these are some subordinating conjunctions that we use to do what? Introduce what? Adverbial clause. Are we together? Now, just as we have restrictive and non-restrictive or adjectival clauses, we also have different types of adverbial clauses or clauses as the case may be. Put them down. We have adverbial clause of time, adverbial clause of time, adverbial clause of time, adverbial clause of place, place, adverbial clause of manner, adverbial clause of manner, adverbial clause of cause, adverbial clause of cause, cause as in C-A-U-S-E, adverbial clause of condition, adverbial clause of condition, adverbial clause of degree, adverbial clause of degree, adverbial clause of comparison, comparison, adverbial clause of concession. There are many of them. Okay, there are many of them, and you know these adverbial clauses by the type of subordinate clause that introduce them. Okay, are you together? You know these types of, when this type of adverbial clause appear in a sentence, you know them by the type of subordinating conjunction that introduce them. Something like, if you see something like when, what adverbial clause? When, something like when, what adverbial clause will come to your mind? When? When, yes. What adverbial clause will come to your mind? Good. Time. When will introduce adverbial clause of what? Time. It's something like if, I will not, okay, that this sentence I made, that first sentence I made that has if. Call it out, let me hear.
Come into the room if it starts raining.
Come into the, if it starts what? Raining. Come into the what? If it's, now, if you see when if introduces an adverbial clause, what comes to your mind? Adverbial clause of what? Condition. Perfect. Does it make sense? Does it make sense to you? Now, okay, now something like this. Something like this. Okay, put down this sentence. I want from this textbook we are using. Look at this sentence. It says, "They hunted him as a tiger hunts its prey." Let me write it out so I can explain it better. They hunted him as a tiger hunts its prey. You know what's a prey now? Prey now? Prey, predator, right? Tiger is a predator. Other animal like zebra, they are what? Prey. Is human being a prey to tiger? That's, you know. Now, let me write a sentence from this textbook. It says, they Haunted. They haunted him as a tiger hunts its prey. They hunted him as a tiger hunts its prey. Before I will not underline it. I want you on your own to divide this sentence into main clause and subordinate clause by yourself. Oh yeah. Festus, divide this sentence. They hunted him as a tiger hunts his prey. Divide this sentence into the main clause and the subordinate clause. Which one is the main clause? Which one is the main clause, Festus? Tell us. Which one is the main clause?
They hunted him.
They hunted him is main clause, right? Do you agree, Izu?
Yeah.
Do you agree? Now, which one is the subordinate clause? Huh? Which one is subordinate clause? As a tiger hunts, that's the subordinate clause. Izu? Huh? Speak out now.
As a tiger hunts his prey.
Perfect. Are you following? I sure you are following this topic. It's an interesting topic, but your eyes must be down before you can understand it, or before you can answer the question well. So the sit up. They hunted him is the what? The main clause. As a tiger hunts its prey is the what? The subordinate what? Clause. Now look at this thing now. If this appear in a sentence, how will you know? We have agreed now that I am now underlining the subordinate clause, right? As a tiger hunts its prey is the what? Subordinate clause. I agree. Now, what type of subordinate clause is this? Huh? What? Restrictive. Look at this very well. Look at it very well. First of all, you should ask yourself a question. Okay, let me ask the complete question first. Question A, number one. Put down the question, number one. I will explain. Number one. What grammatical name is given to the underlined expression? What grammatical name is given to the underlined expression? Then number two. What is its function as it is used in the sentence? What is its function as it is used in the sentence? What is its function as it is used in the sentence? What is its function as it is used in the sentence? Now, first of all, let's answer the first question. What is the grammatical name of the underlined expression in this sentence? Chinwa, what is the grammatical name of the underlined expression? Fast. Sit up. What? You say what? Adverbial clause. Do you agree? So why do you say it's adverbial clause? So what does it modify here? What does it modify in the main clause? What is should we say that the subordinate clause is modifying it perform a function of a particular word, part of speech, right? Now we say that it's adverbial clause. I agree. What does it modifies something in the main clause? True or false? So what does it modify in the main clause? Haunted him out.
They haunted him.
Okay, you modify the haunted him. He cannot modify. Okay, anyway. No. Even though an adverbial clause can modify the rest of the sentence, but there's something I want you to specify. What does it modify in that? Haunted. Haunted is what? What part of speech? A verb. It modifies the what? The what? The verb. Now, what does it talk about the verb? What type of? The type of adverbial clause will tell you what it talks about the verb. What type of? From this thing, from how what introduced it is what? Is what? Is what? What introduced that adverbial clause? As now, it's not true. Now that because this as that introduced, what type of adverbial clause do you think this should be? Adverbial clause of what? No. As a tiger hunts. Look at manna. Good. This guy is good. Manna. This adverbial clause talks about the manner in which the tiger hunted the what? The man. Simple. It talks about the manner. Sorry, what am I saying? It talks about the manner with which they hunted the what? The man. He used tiger. He used the way a tiger hunts his what? Prey to describe how those people hunted the what? The person. True or false? So it talks about this adverbial clause. It talks about the manner. They used the manner with which they hunted the man. So it's adverbial clause of what? Manner. So as you see it, talks about adverbial clause of what? Manner. The manner with which they do what? Hunt the man. That's the manner. So that seems to be what? Adverbial clause of what? Manner. And what is its function? It modifies the adverb what? The verb what? Hunted. It modifies the verb what? Hunted. Does it make sense? Chinwe? Izu? Does it make sense? Good. Okay. Did I mention adverbial clause of reason? Put it. Adverbial clause of what? Reason. Put it, please. It's important. Now look at. I want to list from there are some 5 sentences I want to point out from. I want to list from this book. 5 sentences I want to list from this book. I want you to go home. Use it as what? Assignment. Okay. Okay. Use as what? Assignments. Then in our next class, let's see what you were able to come up from. Please, if I give you assignment, try to research on it. Don't just do it anyhow or brain. Festus, this is the first time you're coming. I don't joke with my assignment. If I give assignment, take it seriously. Make research on it. Go to online, consult this, take it seriously and do it. Don't just do it anyhow, because if you come to this place, I'll call you out. We talk about the assignment. We'll see what you. Am I communicating? So the assignment goes like this. Assignments. So I'll use some sentences from this textbook as assignments. So I want to do it in our next class. We'll see what we can make out of the sentences. So they came from our reference book for today. Round Up English Language for SSC and UME by C. Ukwebu et al. That should be what edition safe. Let's continue. Okay, I will take them and use them as assignment, as I said. Now I want you to write this thing down. Now, okay. So the assignments, please identify and state the function of the adverbial clauses in each of the following sentences. Identify and state the function of the adverbial clauses in each of the following sentences. Number one, if the weather, now the weather here now is not the weather we know, okay? WEATHER, okay? If the good weather continues, comma, we will sail tomorrow. If the good weather continues, comma, we will sail tomorrow. Sail, S-A-I-L. We will sail tomorrow. 2. The sail. This one now is sail, as in selling something. S-A-E-L. The other sail has to do with boat, right? Right? Are you aware? Boat and ship. Are you aware? Now, the sale will continue until all the items are sold. The sale will continue until all the items are sold. Number 3. She did not attend the wedding, comma. She did not attend the wedding, comma, because she had not been invited. She did not attend the wedding, comma, because she had not been invited. She had not been invited. Number 4. Although they searched everywhere, comma, they did not find the missing child. Although they searched everywhere, comma, they did not find the missing child. Number 5. They were applauded wherever they went. They were applauded wherever they went. You know what is applaud now? Applaud. A-P-P-L-A-U-D-E-D. They were applauded wherever they went. I told you here that a subordinate clause must not always appear in the end of sentence, right? That it can appear in the beginning, in the middle, and end, right? Good. Now, there's something I want to explain, but I want to talk about, maybe when we discuss phrase, I will talk about it, okay? Because now, I don't know do you know what's a phrase? A phrase. You may not understand it. Maybe when we are done with clause, we treat phrase. Now, I want to say something. Sometimes, do you know why I paused when you say that it modified hauntedly, right? Do you know why I stopped? And sometimes adverbial clause may not modify only an adverb. You may modify an adverbial adverbial phrase in a sentence. Am I completing? Sometimes you may modify an adverbial phrase. A phrase is also a group of words, but it doesn't have subject and predicate. Am I completing? Don't worry. Let me stop here. When we discuss adverbial and phrase, please remind me to talk about how an adverbial clause can modify Sorry, I said adverbial phrase. Sorry, I mean a verb phrase. Okay, remind me to talk about how adverbial clause can modify the what, a verb what, phrase. Remind me, okay? So I will treat how adverbial clause can modify a verb what, phrase. I don't want to talk about it because we are not treated verb phrase. We have under phrase. We have verb phrase. Verb phrase. When we treat verb phrase, please, exactly when we go to verb phrase, remind me to talk about how adverbial phrase, adverbial clause modify a verb phrase. Please remind me, okay? So we can discuss it. Any question? Any question? Number 3, on what? The assignment. The 3 says, she did not attend the wedding. She did not attend the wedding, comma, because she had not been invited. She had not been invited. Number 5 says, they were applauded. They were applauded. They were applauded. They were applauded wherever they went. They were applauded wherever they went. Any other one? Are we good? So in this class, we started from defining clause, right? From defining clause, we came down to the main types of clause. We talk about main clause and subordinate clause, and we explain what they are. From there, we went down to subordinate clause, different types of subordinate clause. Did I list it? I said we have adjectival clause, adverbial clause. What else is that called? Noun clause, right? We also have noun what? Clause. There are many of them. By the time we are done with this main one, I will list other types of clauses that you can also find. From there, we now entered adjectival clause. There we talk about what? Restricted and what? Restrictive and what? Non-restrictive. From there we move to what? Adverbial clause and give examples and adverbial clause of time, manner, when. Okay, if let me ask you a question. If an adverbial clause starts with where, what comes to your mind? Adverbial clause of where? Place, right? Good. Now, if it comes with maybe because, if because introduces it, what comes to your mind? Reason, right? Does it make sense? Yes, smiling now. Cause can also be there. It can, depending on how the question is structured, the sentence is structured. Okay, it can be reason, it can be what? Cause, depending on the words, how the sentence is what? Structured. I think we'll stop here for today, please. Please remember tomorrow, in our class tomorrow at Yale, the time is what? 4 p.m. Please, I want us to come in on time because what we do is this. Once we come, we do our assignment. We review, we call it what? Assignment review. We review the assignment given in the last class. After that, we now enter the next class. The subject we have tomorrow is what? Biology and what? English. Even though I said, there's something I want to point out here, okay? I said, I put biology / English. That's no way we can do theorem and same day, okay? So what we do is, if we do biology, English, and like next Wednesday, now we'll do what? Biology, okay? Next Wednesday, we'll do biology here. So tomorrow now, we will do English. Next Thursday, we'll do what? That's how we're doing it. Then those courses that have calculation, I give them only that day. Okay? Like Saturday now, we face only chemistry, physics and what? Maths here on Saturday. Okay? We'll start. Okay. Don't worry, I'll tell you us exactly when we'll start by Friday, after our Friday lecture at Yale. Because on Saturday there will be entrance exam in our school. And it's in my office. It's my office that organize the exam. So before we come to lesson on Friday, I would have known the exact time will start and other things that may be involved. Then I will tell us the exact time we will come here on Saturday. But if there's nothing happens, nothing like if nothing like sanitation or no excuse, no event coming on Saturday, normal will start by what? 9 a.m. We do it from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. But we'll be observing some break, like 30 minutes break, that rest. After one course, we have like 30 minutes break, rest, and come back for the second subject. After that, 30 minutes break, we come for the third subject. That's what we do, okay? So that's how I'm just explaining this because it's the first time you are joining us. You are welcome, faces. Let's welcome faces. Faces, welcome. All right. See you tomorrow, and God bless you. Bye.